Picture this, soldiers, armed with machine guns. Their enemy? Not enemy soldiers but giant flightless birds. This wasn't a fever dream, this was the Great Emu War of 1932. Australia, known for its diverse wildlife, found itself at war with the emu, a creature that looked like it belonged in a dinosaur museum. The war was a series of actions by the Australian military. Their goal? To curb the growing emu population that was wreaking havoc on farmers' crops. What followed was a comedy of errors. It made international headlines and cemented the emu's place in Australian history. World War I was over. Soldiers returned to Australia. They hoped for peace and a chance to rebuild their lives. Instead, they found themselves facing a new enemy, the emu. The large, flightless birds, already a common sight in the Australian outback, were booming in population. Why? Returning soldiers cleared land for farming. This created ideal conditions for emus to thrive. The emus naturally took advantage of this. They feasted on crops and multiplied. Farmers already struggling were desperate. The emus became a feathered plague. Desperate times call for desperate measures. The Australian government, facing pressure from farmers, took a drastic step. They declared war on emus. Soldiers armed with Lewis machine guns were deployed to the Western Australian outback. Their mission? Reduce the emu population. It seemed like an easy task. After all, how hard could it be to defeat a bird? The soldiers, veterans of a world war, were about to learn that fighting humans was one thing. Fighting intelligent, highly mobile birds was another thing entirely. The Great Emu War was a disaster, but a hilarious one. The emus, far from being intimidated by the soldiers and their machine guns, proved to be incredibly difficult targets. They scattered at the first sound of gunfire. They could run and dodge with surprising speed and agility. The soldiers were left looking foolish. Newspapers around the world mocked the Australian military's efforts. The war ended in a humiliating defeat for the humans. The emus remained, their numbers largely undiminished. The Great Emu War serves as a reminder that not all battles are won with brute force. It's also a testament to the absurdity that can sometimes color the pages of history. But this is just one of many bizarre historical events. Stay tuned for more tales of the strange and unbelievable in our next installment.